Guys, no word of a lie. Alec used to go into food eating competitions. You used to do it.
I did.
Legit.
I won.
Now, if I was a betting man, I would have bet on Alec every single time. Last time you did it was the time you tried to eat like 14 tortillas.
14 tortillas.
Oh, sorry.
It wasn't just bread. I had 15 tacos in 15 minutes.
First competition you won.
Yeah.
Second one you didn't win. So I'm glad I didn't actually bet in that because I probably would have lost the second time.
That's because you didn't have an integrated Sony gambling platform.
True.
Across all platforms that let you bet cryptocurrency, money, in-game assets, and NFTs on taco competitions.
Yes, if only they had that.
Fortunately, Sony have come in to fix this by filing a patent, and we're going to talk about it.
After the drop?
Okay.
Before we even start, look at this. Check it out. It is in the merch store.
It's pretty lit, fam, as the kids
Link
say.
in the description. Also, maybe those little boxes under the actual episode that shows the merch store. Check it out.
It is cool.
But you don't have to gamble for it. You can just buy it.
Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
See, this is where you're missing out.
Yeah, you're missing out big time, guys.
So look, Sony have been posturing towards esports a little bit recently. One of the biggest moves they've made so far was actually purchasing EVO, the Evolution tournament, which is the big fighting game tournament that's going on forever. They now co-own that with, interestingly, Endeavor. And Endeavor's the company that they own like Miss Universe. And a lot of sort of big, a lot of high profile. It's basically a talent agency. So Sony kind of co-own them with that. It looks like they're making moves towards that space, and now we see this patent filed.
So look, I definitely think that esports is going to be one of the largest spaces in the next 10 years. It's still trying to find its feet, I suppose you could say. A lot of companies want to try and get in on that action as soon as they can. I think Sony also kind of knows that, and that's why they're trying to make inroads and buy EVO, for instance. And now they're also filing patents to make sure that they can capitalize on the gambling side of esports also.
According to a listing on Patent Scope, Sony initially filed the patent in 2019, but has only published it this month. The patent itself suggests a system where viewers of live stream esport events, such as fighting game tournaments, would be able to bet on the outcome of matches whilst watching the action play out in real time. The system would work via a user interface overlay that could be brought up over the stream in order for the user to place their bets. What's most interesting though, and you'll certainly appreciate the wording in the patent, but it's not just PlayStation. As the patent reads, this is a platform and references game consoles such as Sony's PlayStation, or a game console made by Microsoft or Nintendo or other manufacturer, virtual reality headsets, augmented reality, AR headsets, portable televisions, e.g. smart TVs, internet-enabled TVs, portable computers such as laptops and laptop computers, and other mobile devices including smartphones. So they're really covering their bases.
I was going to say, so they're leaving so many out. They're really just wanting to cover
basically
a couple
you can do this on anything but Morse code.
Pretty much. But look, I mean, it's a huge business, let's be honest now. Again, like I know it's an evolving space, but 2020 they were projected to make $14 billion in the esports space in terms of revenue, which is a fraction of the $227 billion of global gambling from casinos and online gambling. So look, there's still such a small pie in the gaming space, especially when you look at it as, people say all the time that movies and gaming is bigger than movies and music combined. It just makes sense that there's a lot of space for this to grow.
I don't know if I don't personally see the whole appeal of esports. I would say I'm an extraordinarily engaged gamer.
Oh, bro, are you an engaged gamer, bro?
I'm a core gamer who
you
plays...
are a hardcore gamer that is engaged, dude.
I play games all the time. I play games a lot. I don't play competitive shooters.
We've both tried to watch Overwatch, for instance, or
I went to the Overwatch World Championship when it was in. They had like a playoff. They had something in Sydney.
Yeah.
At the casino of all places. Actually, it was held at the casino.
Of course. But there's a lot of people that do.
Of course. But what I'm saying is, I talk to a few people who are big gamers and they don't really care about esports. Maybe that's just me living in my own little bubble. Or maybe it's not quite an area that has as much growth in it as they think. I'm not going to pretend to know more than these companies, so it'll be interesting to see. But you've certainly got a lot of these big players making some big moves towards the space.
The question is really, why would they do this? I think there's a lot of money in this space, but they also have to wrestle with the idea that there's some risks. There's an inherent risk here for PlayStation. It's ultimately a video game company that, of course, has a lot of you know, like it's not as bad as Nintendo in terms of how many children would play on PlayStation, but you know, to couple up and start filing patents for gambling applications that tie into you know, companies and tournaments that they own. I think, you know, there's inherently some risk there in terms of their own, you know, branding, and I wonder how that's going to look.
Unless their objective is for licensing. Unless they want to patent the idea and then go, hey, Amazon, we've got this system for integrating gambling into Twitch. Do you want to give us some money? And then they go to, I don't know, whoever's doing the other providers, they go to YouTube, and when the YouTube's live streams, hey, you want to give us some money? We've got this system that we've patented. We own the idea. You got to pay us.
Look,
so I don't know. I don't really see Sony making themselves a video platform. Could be wrong.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. It's unclear, and I wonder. Well, they've also made it clear in this patent, kind of, that it's not really for PlayStation 4 or 5 in terms of the actual interface. Although it could be in the future, it seems to be pretty clear that this is really about maybe an external website or an application that works on the smart TV. I think it would be the next step if they really made it like an in-game app that you could, like, you know, log on to your PlayStation 5 and there's like a betting app that they've actually put in there. That just opens a huge can of worms of like having like parental controls and all this kind of stuff.
I suppose lastly, the most interesting thing I found from this whole filing was that they outline the types of wages that can be made. Wages may be pecuniary, e.g. money or Bitcoin, or maybe non-pecuniary, e.g. game assets, digital rights, and virtual currency. So they're obviously going for money, because that's how you normally bet, but they're also opening up avenues for game assets, such as...
Cryptocurrencies also in itself is kind of interesting.
Well, that is interesting, yeah. But game assets, you know, skins and weapons and basically stuff you've earned in the game, like the current skin betting system. Digital rights, so read NFTs. NFTs are growing a lot lately, so that's interesting.
And when it says virtual currencies, that kind of sounds the same to Bitcoin for me. But
I think it means like in-game currencies, like V-Bucks in Fortnite. So
yeah, sure.
No, look, it's interesting.
Yeah, it is. Look, I think, you know, number one, for them to start talking about Bitcoin or, like, you know, virtual currencies in that particular way, that's interesting in itself. I think we are going to see a huge move forward for betting sites, gaming betting sites, using specific, you know, crypto tokens and stuff. So this just, if this was to be in fact the way that they wanted to go, it would just further legitimize that gambling space within the crypto community. And secondly, virtual currency, if that is in fact PlayStation points or whatever they want to call it, that's another, you know, can of worms that I wonder if they would really want to get into that.
Well, I think it's not so much PlayStation dollars as it would be what I would think would be your in-game currencies. So like your V-Bucks in Fortnite, or like your, I don't know, there's a million different names for these in-game currencies. I think it'd be maybe betting those rather than PlayStation dollars, because that's just money. But anyway, it's certainly an interesting space, the esports space. I think
it's an interesting space, the esports space.
It is interesting.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Look, we just want to touch on that. Something to be on the radar. I think, I mean, look, it's just interesting to see. One thing I will say is we always see so many patents that never actually go anywhere. Maybe they just want to hedge their bets, so to speak, and just have this kind of in the background, and they never want to use it. Or they know if they want to be buying Evo, they want to be coupling that up with something that really makes them a lot of money off the back of that. So who knows? But guys, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Love you, appreciate you. Later now.